Hello, my little Liebfrau Milches, and welcome to an early start Moohead Radio. Well, uh, I finally conceded and started taking antibiotics a few days ago for what is obviously has become, if it didn't start out this way, is a bacterial infection in my sinuses. Consequently, I think it was a virus that kind of mutated and so I've been kind of doing nothing during the course of this week. Didn't broadcast on Monday because holiday. I figured everybody was cooking out. They didn't need to listen to my shit. And through the week, just rested. And today is going to be the first evening that I get out and get to sing because I haven't had any kind of. Yeah, my throat is like. Oh. Thank you. Uh, I, I used to be the lead singer for the band Weezer. I don't know if you know that. So, how are you all doing? Uh, there are some things to talk about. So, let's get to it because I got to get out of here fairly well as soon as I possibly can. First of all, the talk is, well, how did Deshaun Watson look? And you had people showing him overthrowing Elijah Moore. And then you had the other side showing him completing a long pass to Elijah Moore. And then there were the other people who had video of him making a pass at Elijah Moore's wife. None of this really matters. Hey, Big Lurker, how you doing? And Bronk, how are you doing? People in the chat room and starting to populate, at least in some small measure. But it's so stupid. It's like you're not going to glean anything from OTAs unless somebody rips out their Achilles. You're not going to find out a whole hell of a lot. And it kind of bugs me because, well, was there zip on the ball? I got a zip down here. Why don't you open that up and see what's in there? I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, there's nobody in his face, nobody rushing him. He's not moving. He's standing still and he's throwing the ball to grown men. Now, you tell me, what are we supposed to glean from that? Bronk is eating salad with prawns. Who's prawns? I don't know him. Oh, God. So, but it's become a focus now. Deshaun Watson this, Deshaun Watson that. And look, I think that he's our quarterback. We're going into the season opener with him. If he remains healthy, great. If he doesn't, we have Jameis Winston, who is a competent NFL backup. Not much more than that, but that. And that's what you have. As for Nick Chubb, I don't know. I mean, it's all silence regarding Chubb. I would imagine that Chubb will be back sometime during the course of the season, but I don't count on anything, not when it comes to football. But yeah, Deshaun Watson looked just fine. He didn't look great because you can't look great in OTAs. He didn't look bad because it's hard to look bad in OTAs. So just shut the fuck up and let it play out. See what it is. To really get into some of this whole thing about expectations, it was really funny. I was looking up the 2024 NFL FPI rankings, and it's all based on expectation. Amsterdam's asking a question. Who plays more games, Watson or Chubb? Watson. All right. 49ers are expected to win it all, according to the gambling disease people. And I don't see Brock Purdy as a Super Bowl quarterback at all. They certainly had their chance now, didn't they? Didn't get it done. Then the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are always up there, right? Right. And then the Ravens, because they injure people intentionally, and they're the Ravens. By the way, if you didn't notice, Lamar Jackson decided he was going to just lose 15 pounds. You know, he said he wants to be more maneuverable. This is what it really is. Lamar Jackson impression. Yeah, he bulked up to 235 pounds, thinking it's going to make me bigger and stronger, and I'm going to run around and over people. Then you hit the injury wire a number of times in the last 2 years, and it's like, well, now I'm going to become smaller and just run away from them. What a pussy. What a pussy. So much said about so little. He still can't throw a forward pass consistently. And what did he do? Did he work on during the whole offseason on throwing the ball better? No. He lost 15 pounds so he can be quicker, so he can run better. Meanwhile, the front office is saying, but we're getting you all these players. It's like, nah, I'm losing the weight, and I'm going to let Lamar be Lamar. Selfish player. Selfish as all get out. They're saying they're the favorites to be third most likely. Then the Lions. Jump on any bandwagons lately? When was the last time the Lions put two really good seasons back to back? Now, I really don't like gambling. But if I were a gambling disease person, I wouldn't put a red cent on the Lions. And it's not because I think the Lions are a bad team. But history does have a way of repeating itself. And to be very honest with you, there's so much that could go wrong for the Lions. They could be the most overrated team of these that I'm mentioning. And then this, that makes it, of course, the Bills have to be up there. Even though their quarterback is not doing as well as he did earlier in his career, they're still the Bills. They still have fast wideouts. They still have big offense. So they're number 5. Then number 6, that's right, the Dallas fucking Cowboys. Now, come on. How can you keep peddling warmed up soup to me, Dak Prescott? Make that stop, dear God. I don't understand. And then the Bengals. Well, you know, they went to the AFC Finals for a couple of years there. Well, you know, they lost too. Let's bring the Moose in here. Hey, Moose, how you doing?
I thought I'd spare you the noise of me gnashing on green food.
And that's very considerate of you, because as you taking you off the air. Okay.
Nobody wants to hear a moose eat anyway, do they?
A cow.
Or a cow. Chewing on the cud.
Yeah, I mean, it's really annoying. It's repetitive. And, you know, if you tuned in and saying, I wonder if there's anything really going on with the Cavaliers coaching search, and all you saw was, it's like, not that shit again.
No.
Of course, they turn it off anyway, but what the hell?
Correct.
So you have the Bengals is listed as number 7. The Eagles, number 8. Everybody hurts like Jalen Hurts his team. The Eagles, number 8. Then number 9, the newly found Texans.
Wow.
And, well, no, I mean, this is a pivotal year for that franchise because the expectations are high. And the hardest, it's not hard to come out of nowhere like Baker Mayfield did for the Browns. It's not hard just to kind of take people by storm and by surprise. New offense, new head coach. He's not Hue Jackson. And the next thing you know, you're beating people, and it's like, wow, that's pretty damn good. Yeah.
Because we hadn't won a game in 2 fucking years before that.
That's right. But hey, this is good. Well, the Texans, They whipped our ass last year,
Oh God, yeah.
like
Oh,
redheaded
ow.
stepchildren, and that's fine.
I still have marks on where they were hitting me on the ass, man, from that game.
But teams have an entire off season to look at films and to see what they're doing.
Mark.
Yeah, we'll see. Mark, we'll see
Mark.
exactly how CJ Stroud does.
Yeah, she'll need a manservant by the time the season.
I hope he doesn't end up in my chair. Then you have the Packers, Jordan Love lovers. Then you have the Dolphins because, well, they do have sometimes a potent offense. But get this. Who's number 12? The New York Jets.
They're ahead of us?
Yes.
They're ahead of us.
Could you fucking believe this? An old man who's crazy as a loon. No, not that old man who's crazy as a loon.
No, not me.
34 felony convictions. Yes. Not that one. The other crazy one, Aaron Rodgers, who, to be honest with you,
I'd rather have Joe Flacco. I'd rather have Joe Flacco than Aaron Rodgers.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do. Yeah, so the Jets are ahead of the Browns. Then the Rams. Yes, we haven't reached the Browns yet. Finally, at 14 is the Browns, which basically is about the halfway point, a little above. And you got nothing to say about the Browns except they're more question marks than they are anything. And I like going into the season like that, by the way.
Yeah.
I like the idea that we go in with uncertainty, because if the Texans come out this season and shit the bed, poor Big Ounce on Twitter is going to hang himself. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen.
No, but you provide a lot of viewers, so.
No, I mean,
did I just say that? You can edit that out when you put it up.
I like Big Ounce. He's a good guy. He really is a good guy. He's such a hopeful fan, and I've just seen it so many times, like sand filtering through the
dripping through the hourglass of the days of our lives.
So are the days of our lives. I could have been a great booth announcer,
you could have been Don Pardo. You could have done Don Pardo.
I could have. I could have been like Ernie Anderson, like Goulardi, the Carol Burnett Show, or the Love Boat. Yeah, I mean, I could have done it, but no. So the Jaguars are at 16. I skipped the Falcons because there's nothing to really talk about. They were 15, and then from there it just goes to hell in a handbasket. By the way, the Bears and Caleb Williams are picked at 19, only at a sheer hope that somehow he's going to, The Buccaneers are 22. Oh, Baker Bros. Wherefore art thou, Baker Bros? And by the way, the team that is figured to have the least chance of all is the Panthers.
Yeah.
They hired a new coach. I don't know if you read this, Huey Newton.
Huey Newton in the news. No, wasn't he with the Black Panthers?
Yes.
It's bad when you have to explain the fucking jokes.
I know. There are people like, that is a historical name, but I can't really put my finger on it.
Isaac Newton, Paul Newton, Huey Newton,
Fig Newton, Wayne
Newton,
Dankeschön. Then
Olivia Newton-John.
31, by the way, the Patriots. God only knows.
31. Yay! Who's their coach now?
Oh, I don't even know. I mean, it's like a big crater hole where Belichick left.
Oh,
they can't even cheat anymore.
They should make Tommy Heinsohn hell watch the New England Patriots this year.
Well, Tommy's team is in the finals, so I'm sure he'll be talking later in the program. Here's the reason that I really am interested in seeing more than just Deshaun Watson for the Cleveland Browns is, Jim Schwartz addressed the press, and he basically, in his circuitous way that he does, talked about not going in and pounding hard of the things that they already did last year, but he compared being a defense to being a baseball pitcher and said, if you know you have a fastball and you know what Jim Schwartz's fastball is, he just puts pressure, and
Correct.
full
Yes.
speed pressure and all that. He said, we are working on our changeups and off speed pitches.
Wow.
So I think that you can't keep
The
giving
fuck
the
does that
league.
mean?
What it means is you can't keep giving the league the same look because they'll adapt. And by the end of the season, teams had adapted against that, bull run kind of mentality. And they were getting us to overly bite on things, on fakes and play and people were getting open.
Oh, particularly JOK, man. He'd have some good plays, and then he'd look way out of position. And
I mean, overly aggressive. And I think that there's a balance to these types of things of when you can and can't do that. And I think that really, along with the multiple pick sixes, did us in.
Yeah.
I think that really the coaching staff of the Texans did a fine job because they got the Browns to overreact to everything.
Dissected us.
Yeah.
With precision.
So Jim Schwartz is aware of the fact, as he put it, we do what we do and we try to do it really well. But then in the next sentence said, but there are other things that we can throw into the mix. And I mean, every defense has its own character. And that's what they rest their laurels upon. And I think for Jim Schwartz, it's that aggression, but there has to be keeping some people at home instead of just following the ball. And that's right, Amsterdam. Vrabel was actually on the field in OTAs doing a pole dance. I don't know why he was doing that. It was really disturbing. No, he was actually out. He's a consultant. He's not a coach, but he is an extra voice and he is a defensive specialist. So
well, the consultants are only good when you fucking listen to them and listen to what they say. I mean, if they just ride around in a fucking golf cart, there's no point in even paying them. So,
well, you got Myles Garrett, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, Joel Bitonio, skipping OTAs.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. That's just it. I mean, you're going to see somebody already did an offseason go down in the NFL with a season-ending Achilles injury. I mean,
no, nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants it at all. And so you're not going to glean a lot from OTAs. So everybody's getting all excited about nothing. And the fact that our special teams coach is trying to figure out how this new kickoff rule works. We'll see. I mean, we're going to have two guys back there. Nieheim might well be one of them if he is healed from his offseason injury.
Isn't that what Radar O'Reilly used to drink? Knee-high?
Knee-high, but he's Nieheim.
Nieheim. Oh, yeah.
No, knee-high. N-E-H-I.
Oh, okay. I thought
famous grape soda.
Knee-high. Grape soda, yeah.
Knee-high grape
Nieheim.
soda. I don't think knee-high exists anymore, except to a grasshopper.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
I digress.
Now, Dino Hall.
Dino Hall.
Dino Hall.
Yeah. Legend. And Ice Cube.
Dino Hall. No.
Tommy Heinsohn would have liked Dino
Hall. So I want to talk a little bit about the Guardians too. I was doing a little of this, a little of that. It's kind of a pastiche of things. I don't understand what the deal is with Logan Allen. Somebody explain it to me. Like I'm really, really learning disabled. He doesn't have a great fastball. He doesn't have an out pitch. He nibbles constantly. He doesn't have great control. He consistently has high pitch counts, and he ends up going through a couple of starts where he's okay, and then he gets clobbered in the next couple he does. And I don't understand it. I don't know what they see in Logan Allen, but he's one of our starting pitchers. And it seems that when it becomes his turn, we're in jeopardy of losing. The Guardians are going to be playing the Washington football team. No.
The Senators?
Yeah. No, the Generals.
The Generals. I knew it was one of those teams. The Representatives, the Washington Representatives.
So we have the pitching previews for you. Tonight will be Tanner Bybee pitching against Patrick Corbin. I think he's the guy who was on LA Law.
Yeah, and he was on he was in that Indians movie. Oh, what was
Yeah.
he was the third baseman or something.
That's right, Corbin Burnson.
Yeah, that's the one.
And tonight's at 7:10, normal start time. Tomorrow will be Ben Lively.
No relation to Blake, huh?
No, and he lost a bunch of weight in the offseason, so now he's light and lively.
Light and lively.
Yeah.
Is he made of like corn oil or canola or something?
No, he's yogurt. And he's going to be up against left-handed pitcher Mitchell Parker. And so that's two lefties in a row that they will be facing. And then and that'll be Saturday at 4:10. And an undecided pitcher, the unknown pitcher for the Guardians versus right-hand pitcher Jake Irvin, who I thought was killed in an alligator accident.
Yeah.
Shows you what I know.
Terrible. And he was on the moon too. He was on Apollo 15. You can look it up.
Okay, I will definitely.
And he played golf. Hail Irwin.
That's true. Irwin, what's it?
It doesn't matter.
And then he produced Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea on television.
Yep, and Train Spotting.
Yeah. So, and then he played with the Cavs, the Celtics, and
correct. Julius.
No, Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie.
So, the thing that bothers me, all these left-handers and Manzardo, just when he was starting to hit, they're not playing him against lefties.
Oh.
And that is correct. Stephen Kwan is back. He'll be playing
Kwan is back.
Left field. Yep. So
Kwan is back.
And so hopefully he'll be, smacking the ball. And a great job while he was gone by what's his name? Isn't that terrible?
Fry?
No, David Fry has been unbelievably good. The guy who was leading off, help me here, chat room. The guy who was leading off, Tyler Freeman. Is that his name? Yeah.
Tyler Freeman.
So, he's actually leading off, got on base, and did a whole bunch of good things. And I thought that was kind of nice.
Wow.
I don't know. I would like to see, they obviously feel that at this point Manzardo can't hit left-handed pitching, but he has started to drive the ball, and I'm interested in seeing more of him, because what we're getting instead is this guy they brought up, Rodriguez, who has a rocket for an arm in right field, but he's going to be DHing against left-handers, and I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. But Guardians are having a good season, so I'm not going to complain.
Speaking of which, there was some crazy stat I saw. I don't know how true it is, but apparently when the Guardians had the same record in the past, when they were known by some other names,
yes,
in 1920 and 1948 and 54 and 95, they were in the World Series. So there you go.
Yeah,
I mean, that they have now.
Yeah, I mean, they had never won this many, more than 35 games, I think it was, out of their first 50 some odd.
53 or whatever, some nonsense.
That puts a lot of pressure on the team. So Kwan will be leading off. Tyler Freeman will be moved to the 2-hole. Jose Ramirez will be third. Josh Naylor will be at first base in the 4-hole. David Fry will be catching, and he's been, this is like a dream for him. I don't know where the power is coming from. He's hitting over 350. This can't continue. And don't say that, Amsterdam, because in his, Bo Naylor actually got 2 singles in his last 20 at bats. So leave him alone.
That's better than Richie Scheinblum.
Oh, the 0 for beginning of his career start.
That was poor guy.
And yeah, Arias is another guy. Cannon for an arm, but he's just got no discipline.
Brandon Whedon had a cannon of an arm too.
Yeah, that's right. Arias has no discipline at the plate, and he just fanning the stadium. I don't know what the deal is there either. I can't imagine that Arias is going to stay up for very long. The thing here, moving Andre Jimenez down to the 6 hole when he was our best clutch hitter in the 2 hole. I'm really surprised they've left Tyler Freeman at the top of the lineup and moved Jimenez down. That's kind of, then the DH, Jonathan Rodriguez, we just talked about him. In right field, Gabriel Arias, it's like they're trying to find a place for him. And and he said to them, "There's no place for me, nowhere a place for me.
I want to live in America."
Life is a musical. And then shortstop Brian Rocchio rounds it out. And I don't like having Arias and Rodriguez in the lineup at the same time. It's going to be a lot of
rally killing going on.
Yeah. And the thing with Rodriguez is interesting. He's gotten a couple of base hits, but the ball has left his bat at 107 and 110 miles an hour. But they were ground balls that got through the infield. If he can start getting the ball up in the air, he is making contact, and there is a lot of velocity coming off his bat. The question is, can he figure out what pitches to swing at to get the ball trajectory the way we want it to go? But David Fry, every game that I see him, I'm just like amazed. It can't continue because his best year in the minor leagues was a 270 average. He's like 28 years old. I don't know where this is coming from, but it's got to be one of the most fun things that has ever happened for him. So I hope the Guardians can continue winning. They're like 3 games up in their division, so they're doing well. I think that's nice.
Nice.
Also in baseball, I'm telling you, the New York Mets are going into the shitter.
How shitty are they?
Oh man, I mean, they're getting rid of their wholesaling players out. They're sending their right-handed starter Christian Scott and third baseman Brett Beatty to AAA. A day after designating Jorge Lopez, who threw his glove into the crowd after he got pulled by the manager. No, I'm sorry. He was ejected out of the game, and then he threw his glove into the stands, and then said he wasn't sorry for it, and then said, why would he be sorry for it? Because he plays for one of the worst teams in the major leagues, so they DFA'd him.
Was there anybody in the stands to catch the glove, or did it just sit there and he retrieved it later?
God only knows. If Charlie Spikes were in the crowd, he'd have dropped it.
Oh God. I once saw him hit a ball at Cleveland Stadium. The only problem was it went clean out of the stadium, but it was foul. It was the world's longest shot in Cleveland Stadium, but it was a foul ball. It went over the roof.
Jim is saying a fan got his glove.
A fan got it.
Yeah, wow. So ended up
the only fan.
He had a glove for the same reason, Michael Jackson did, and that's no apparent reason whatsoever. So thank you for the update on that, Jim. As far as the guy who got screwed was Christian Scott, the pitcher. He actually being sent to AAA. He's playing for one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. In 5 starts, he posted a 3.9 earned run average, struck out 25 in 27 innings. I don't know. And he only walked 6. Yet he gets shipped down there. I don't know.
He's probably got options. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The old Cleveland trick of they got options, we can send them down.
Then Brett Beatty, the other guy, he was they were convinced that he's the third baseman of the future, but no,
Oh God, what, Andy Marte? Huh?
Yeah, exactly. He just Beatty was hitting a 225, and and they called up their best hitting prospect, Mark Vientos, who's so far hitting a 295, and is maybe one of the few reasons to actually watch the Mets play.
Wow.
And to tell you how badly off they are.
How badly off are they?
They've also, by sending those two guys down, they brought up, let's see if I can get this player's name, Jose Iglesias.
Oh, wow. He can sing too.
Yeah, I know. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
He last played in the majors for the Rockies in 2022.
You know what, though? He could be your hero, baby.
Get this. He's joining the Mets major league roster for the first time since he signed a minor league deal with the team in December. In the minors, he was hitting 154.
Wow.
And he got called up, the Mets, ladies and gentlemen.
154. They must have seen something in him.
Like the rest of the team. And I do want to say one thing about the Mets.
Okay.
The owner of the Mets is a hedge fund guy.
Yeah, and he certainly is. Yes.
And he's been busted twice for inside trading. And
which means he's probably done it about 50 times and only been caught twice.
he paid an extraordinary sum of money for the New York Mets, and it's a toy to him, and he's a schmuck. And if there was one team I'd want to fail, it's the Mets. No bad feelings,
about the players or
no, about Lindor and all that. Nothing. Nothing negative. Him. That guy, Steve Cohen, is a schmuck. And one Jewish guy can call another Jewish guy a schmuck and really mean it. He doesn't know dick about business. He doesn't know dick about anything except moving, manipulating money. He's another one of these fat cat pussies who never did a bunch of hard work in his life and was privileged to get into a business, took advantage of that business by breaking the law, and it was given a slap on the wrist. And now he goes out and buys a baseball team just so that he can show that he has a big dick in the shower. And this is what he puts on the field.
Wow.
What an asshole.
Wow, he makes Michael Milken look like Mother Teresa.
Yeah, I mean, just and now I almost have to bring in the person I really don't want to bring in.
Tommy Heinsohn.
Yeah. Can't do it for long. In fact, I want to tell you, I can't do it for very long at all because it's like a slack rope. I wanted to say 2 words.
Bailey Howell.
No, that's what I would say normally. Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, my God.
He's going to come back. He's going to come back. And you know why?
Why?
He's white. That's why.
You can't change that.
No. And the bottom line is a guy who's 7'3". You add that to the cast of characters that we have, including Pritchard, the other white guy.
Yeah.
I call him the other white meat. This is going to be a joyous day for Boston and for the Irish Catholic community. And I will even be saying, Galen Brown.
Oh, dear.
The league has helped us get to where we're going.
Correct.
Everybody who played us got injured, and it's not a coinky dink.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bill Walton's dead too.
I wanted to say something about that. I couldn't stand listening to him on ESPN.
Right.
And was it a little bit of jealousy? Okay, I'll tell you that maybe it was. The other thing is that he was white.
Yeah.
I don't mean to make this a pervasive theme and not to speak badly of the dead. And I am dead, believe me.
The dead can speak badly of the dead, though, can't they?
I suppose technically, as long
Yeah,
as
but it's we need a ruling from some other dead person. Maybe Dick Goddard can make a ruling on that.
wouldn't that be funny if Tommy Heinsohn ended up in a room with Bill Walton for eternity? That would just be the
They would
incredible.
deserve each other.
I mean, it's like Tommy Heinsohn would be sitting there going, you were a white Celtic, and I'm lucky to have you for a roommate. But on the other hand, you knew far too much about the Symbionese Liberation Army for my tastes. And Bill Walton would say, you're incredible. And that would go on back and forth forever and ever.
Yeah.
But, the Celtics have gotten every break. If they don't win this thing.
Oh, what do you mean if they don't win?
Oh. Yeah. And it's all going to be resting on Luka Doncic's belly. Yep. We're going to really love to see that. And, the thing that I love about this is you've got, Doncic, who's really done well in the playoffs, and now they're in the finals, and he's going to find out what it's like having to try to beat the Boston Celtics pretty much by himself.
And the referees, too.
That's true, too. And, the last game was a destruction of the Timberwolves. Tony the Calf has not been seen since.
Has he not?
No, he's disappeared. Tony. He's disappeared.
No.
Yeah. No. So there's that. And
so is that a bad thing then? Am I supposed to feel sad about that? Yeah, okay, I'll feel sad.
Yeah. Boo-boo lip.
Oh.
Yeah. I got that down from when I was a kid. It was really funny. Being in the grocery store, be passing the candy aisle, I'd be and my mother would
smack.
Yeah, knock the taste right out of my mouth. Yeah. Terrible. Doncic, by the way, outscored the Timberwolves 20-19 in the first quarter of that last game, which leads me to the next story that Anthony Edwards says the Wolves will be back after a playoff exit.
Yeah, they'll be back.
In Sacramento. If he gets traded. No. They'll be back in Minnesota. But we all know that. But back in the playoffs?
Yeah.
There are teams, I was going back historically, looking at the Sacramento Kings, right?
Yeah.
And there's a team that the last time they were good was like 1998 through 2005. They were winning high 40s, mid 50s games per season. That's and they had good. Vlade Divac. They had some good players. They never got over the hurdle, of course, but they were winning. But after that, it went to hell in a handbasket. It really did. Really bad. I mean, there have been some bad teams. And the Sacramento Kings have always, in my opinion, been like the Siberia of the NBA.
Correct. Yeah.
People say, nobody wants to go to Cleveland. Believe me, nobody wants to go to Sacramento.
No.
And in the midst of, all of this, to think that Sacramento traded Tyrese Halliburton to the Pacers to get Sabonis. Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder? I reject you first. Fame.
Yeah.
He's dead too, David Bowie.
He's very dead. Yeah.
So Anthony Edwards says, "Oh, we'll be back, but don't be so sure. Don't be so sure, because the Timberwolves haven't been very good since Kevin Garnett. They find a way to fuck up, and and I don't see how the T Wolves are going to be great with Karl Anthony Towns constantly hurt. And it's amazing. There are players who play and never get as far as Anthony Edwards did at 22 years of age. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the way things go.
That's basketball over for the year.
I would say if they were separated brothers at birth, Donald Trump and Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
Vince character.
Vince McMahon's accuser has paused their lawsuit against him.
Okay.
Janelle Grant, who is a former WWE employee, alleged in a 67-page lawsuit filed in January that McMahon forced her into a sexual relationship in order for her to keep her job and pass around pornographic content of her to other men at the company.
That sounds like a great guy, doesn't it?
But Ms. Grant has consented to a request by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York to stay her case against Mr. McMahon, WWE, and John Laurinaitis, pursuant to a pending non-public investigation. I mean, Vince McMahon's got so much shit going on. He retires, he comes back to the WWE, then he retires again. He's a scumbag. The guy is one of the biggest scumbags in history. Yes, and he's 78 years old now, and he stepped down in 2022 as the CEO, and then in January resigned from his role as TKO executive chairman and from his position on the publicly traded company's board of directors. That was the company TKO was the formation, the combination of WWE and UFC, which is a perfect combination, which is pathetic. To me, it's unbelievable. And I did want to point something else out.
Yeah.
I don't believe in kicking people when they're down. I really don't. Because in some ways there's karma, and in other ways there are some people
I'm not a big karma fan.
Neither am I. And because it seems that people who do horrible things keep getting away with them over and over and over again.
Yeah, nobody bothers to say crime doesn't pay, because quite clearly it does for a lot of people.
Yeah. I want to see the Apprentice tape be made public on Donald Trump.
Well, that'll just get them more supporters if they show.
I want to see if what they're saying is real. I want to see that. So, but I don't kick anybody when they're down. No. Now, how many number 34s in sports can you name?
Greg Pruitt. I was thinking of that.
Yeah, he's the do it Pruitt. Donald Trump is the didn't do it Pruitt.
Yeah, well, he still has a chance to be name escapes me. He's got 54 more to go, so he could end up with number 88. Because they dismissed 3 of them in Georgia, so he's got another 54 to go.
Come on, somebody
could be Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, come up with a number 34 in the chat room. We have a running back right now who's number 34, folks.
We do.
But you didn't even notice it because the one that matters
Jerome
is
Ford.
Number 24. That's right. Yeah, but the number 24 is the one we care about.
Well, we care about Jerome Ford. Don't tell me.
Oh, well, no, but I know.
We love Jerome Ford.
They do at the University of Cincinnati. They do.
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah. So, but it really is weird to think that it would be nice if every politician would be held to a certain standard and they all get exposed for what they're doing in Washington and they all get busted. It would be great.
Let me interrupt you right there. It's not just Washington. It's virtually every freaking fucking country in the world.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much corruption, and it's because crime really does pay. And particularly if you can do it internationally and shift money around here, there, and everywhere, no one has to know about it.
And yes, Rick May, Skoll brother. Yep. Number 34, Earl Campbell. Yeah. That's good. But I mean, I'm going to go in the Wayback Time Machine.
Whoa.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Andy Russell.
No, that one I wouldn't have come up with.
In the 70s. I'm trying to think of number 34s that were big players in their day.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. At any rate, there are two number 2s. 32s, excuse me.
Jim
two of those.
Brown.
Jim fucking Brown, and then a murderer. So, you know.
Yeah, but he's dead, though. They're both dead. They're both dead. Can you imagine? We're living in a world that does not have Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson in it.
Yeah, O.J. I would say you're ordinary. Now you are that you're down here with me.
Put that knife down. You haven't done Jim Brown saying, put that knife down, OJ.
Okay, that's new.
That is new.
First of all, I'm Jim fucking Brown. You. Second of all, OJ, put that knife down. I'm cool. You see, I never, I'm not doing none of that. OJ, put that knife down. Yeah, it's better when Howard Cosell does it. Right there, you can see the stab mark on Goldman's torso. Right there.
Yeah. Down goes Goldman.
Down goes Goldman. Oh, no.
We've reached a new low. Thank you.
Oh, he hit on one, ladies and gentlemen.
A new low for Moohead Radio right here.
Shaquille O'Neal. Nobody paid attention to the number. It was so small. It was dwarfed by the sheer size of him. Yeah, that's true. Oh, God Almighty! So I've spoken my piece. I'm going out tonight to eat, and then I'm going to try to sing with this voice as best I can.
Sing. Maybe you could do some Bob Dylan songs. He's still alive.
That's true.
He had his birthday last week. So.
Oh, this is good. Hey, way to go, Amsterdam. He's Googled it. Nolan Ryan.
Amsterdam probably has a signed baseball card by Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Look at that. Bo knew a lot about football and sports. Yeah. Lots of 34s.
Yeah.
Now, not even Huey Jackson could go 0-34, though. But hey, I'm not kicking somebody when they're down. Hakeem Olajuwon, very good.
Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, was he 34?
I don't know. I don't
think he was 44, but I could be wrong.
No, I don't know. Charles Barkley, I don't remember. Kirby Puckett, very good. Great leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Little stump of a man, no neck, and the whole 9 yards. But
and he's great too. And he's dead as well.
He passed away.
We're all dead.
He was a great baseball player, though.
Do I get the feeling that it's just going to be you, me, and Amsterdam, and everybody else is going to die, and we'll just be sitting here every week talking about it?
All right, enough, Amsterdam. You proved your point. Lots of 34s. And Walter Payton. I can't believe we didn't think of Walter Payton.
You give Amsterdam a little bit of attention, and then he just runs away with it. Yeah,
but then the other side of the thing was, the late Walter Payton. And
he's dead.
Well, yeah, he left his meat in the fridge too long.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
That's not as bad as down goes Goldman, but
no, Oh, but the Dice Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you got to get that in there.
salami.
Thanks everybody for tuning in to this totally vacant edition
And
of Moohead
defensive
Radio.
program. If you've been offended, well, there
We've
you
done
go.
our job.
We've done our job.
Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to say. One other thing. ESPN 850, WKNR in Cleveland.
WKNR in Cleveland.
It's Rizzo and I forget the other guy's name. They have the great fortune because they are an ESPN station,
Branded station.
Yeah, that
So who owns them? Disney or somebody, or who's their ultimate owner?
I'm not sure who owns KNR right now. It's big company.
Yeah.
And but they every week they bring in Brian Windhorst, and Brian Windhorst is a guy that I like.
He's a big guy, yeah.
I respect him. He was good enough to do a show with us.
I think more than once. I think. No,
huh?
I think he was on more than once.
Yeah, Brian is a straight shooter and a guy who just doesn't have time for bullshit. And they so this is what you wind up with is once a week they put him on and he's explaining that Donovan Mitchell has a lot of power within the Cavaliers organization, right?
Wow, who knew that? Wow.
But he made sure that he painted this in a way so that people realize that Donovan Mitchell is not just throwing his weight around.
Correct.
But he does have a tremendous amount of say in what's going on. He's a star player.
Because he's not ordinary.
Yeah, right. But
he's not ordinary.
But what do the people at 8:50 a.m. do?
What
they cherry pick his quotations and make it look like he was saying. So it's so people.
Oh, so they spliced it up and made it look like Windhorst was saying Donovan Mitchell,
or just quoting him in partiality, not in totality. That Donovan Mitchell has a ton of authority and and it made it look like Donovan Mitchell was telling the Cavaliers front office who to hire as a head coach. That is not happening. That's not happening, and it just amazes me. I mean, I'm just a nobody doing a podcast, and when I had guests on this program who were gracious enough,
who were knowledgeable, you let them talk.
I dropped the Cow Act in a big hurry, and just do the regular broadcast thing, and it's just amazing. But anything that people can do to draw attention to their podcasts or their radio broadcasts or whatever, that is what people do today. And I just won't do it. I don't want to promote any of it.
They exploited Windhorst's good faith and chopped up his thing to make it mean.
Well, they twisted it to their advantage so that they would get more people who would listen to the.
That's exploitation, is what that is.
It's par for the course when you got a hinky radio station that can't even pull a 1 share in the Cleveland market. And you know something?
A 1 share. Wow.
They're less. They're like a 0.4. They got no fucking signal.
I mean, even Sonny Bono could pull a share.
Thank you.
I worked for that one.
Look out for that tree. Sonny Bono and George of the Jungle. That's what they have in common. Yeah, but I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I don't promote the program, because I don't want sensationalism. I don't want to be the source of attention. But these fuckers, God only knows, it's really an aggravation. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I will be back again.
How's the weather, Dick Goddard? I don't need a weather update.
It's been colder than a witch's tit over the last couple of days, but it's warmed up. Today was a beautiful day, 68 for a high, just short of 69, my favorite position.
Wow.
Also, it's going to get even warmer. Tomorrow will be in the 70s and we'll be up in the 80s next week.
Oh, that's good for the woolly bears.
Yeah. So, all right, let me get out of here and let me get to whatever the hell's next. I'll see everybody again on Monday. Until then, hasta la vista, pastor heads. Good night.